Welcome back to another Elden Ring class build episode. Today we're going to look at a class build that I have made called Captain Erdtree. This class build is a Captain America inspired class build. Is a strength, dex, faith build, mainly holy damage, with a throwable shield and hand-to-hand combat, with incantations with a disc-like nature. Stats for this build: for a level 200 new game plus, you should be looking at something to do with 45 figure, mind about 40 plus, endurance about 35 plus, strength anything over 20, but a minimum of 10 for the class. Dexterity anything from 40 overwards, but you get a minimum of 15 on that. Intelligence about 35, mainly only stacks in faith, but a minimum of 31. Faith, you want about a 70 plus. Anything over 70 is good, especially for the incantations. And it doesn't really matter about your arcane, you can have that whatever you want to sell it at. I will be putting the specs of this build in the description of the video. Talk a bit about the build itself. So, equipment wise, you've got the armour. The armour is just normal armour you can find off most knight enemies within Elden Ring. So quite easy to come by. So you got your Meza soldier helm. You got your knight armour, greaves, and then you got your Caden gauntlets. You can have anything really. I just like this aesthetic look. There's loads of different ones you can choose for colours and stuff. Weapon wise, I've gone for the dry leaf arts hand-to-hand combat. This also comes with a Ashen of War, but I've swapped it for the Whirlwind Ashen of War. Dry leaf Whirlwind. It's mainly a footwork based martial artistry, but the range on it is pretty good, and it's a delivery of 4 kicks in a row. Next weapon is the Smith Script dagger. The dagger itself is a new throwable weapon, throwing daggers. Then you'll have your Smith Script shield, which is a throwable shield, and then your dry leaf seal. Main reason behind the seal is that it boosts golden rings of light incantations. It's basically what the spells that we'll be using. Talismans for this: Flock's Canvas Talisman greatly raises incantations. You've got your Shattered Stone Talismans, raises potency of kicks and stomp skills. Shard of Alexandra greatly boosts the attack power of skills, and then enhances weapon throwing attacks, which is the Smithing Talisman. For your flask, you can have continuous attack damage, you could have holy damage, pretty much whatever you fancy, what would work with the build best. Breaking status guard, it's pretty good as well, and charge attacks as well. Any of those would work. So just let's have a little look at how the weapons function. The hand-to-hand combat, single-handed, heavy attacks, and then you duel, pretty quick, and then the Ashen of War. It's a fast fury attacks. With the shield, what I like about it is that you can throw the shield and then go straight into a flurry of punches and kicks. The shield itself, once thrown and locked onto something, it will lock and fly into some enemies. I also got the guard aspect to the shield as well. So if we look at throwing dagger single-handed, pretty swift, heavy throw. Ashen of War, it's like a piercing throw. And then if you dual wield, you can throw in really fast concession. Alright, look at spells. Discus of Light. Throws one discus back and forth. Triple Wings of Light. Same again, but in 3 different directions. Multi-layer ring. This one you throw it, and it stays put in the area that you throw it to. Radagon's Rings of Light. This is like a self-explosion kind of damage. Wrath from Afar. This is like, it's quite good distance on it, like a shout echo kind of looking thing. Minor Erdtree. It's a 1/4 healing allies. Just inspired by the Captain America. If you're working as a team, you obviously can inspire them by healing them. And then Golden Fowl is increased attack and defense of you and your allies, and protection of the Erdtree. So the protection of the Erdtree is increased damage negation for all affinities except physical. Obviously, if you stack Golden Fowl with protection, then that physical is protected for you. So yeah, that's pretty much the lowdown, the run through. So if I go into where we can find most of this, sorry, Morph Ruins, you'll find the hand weapons of the dry leaf arts by the gentleman that stands here. Dane he is called, and he offers you a duel. Within that duel, once completing that duel, you then get that weapon. So the axe, how things like this work. I do like that one, that spell. The only case is if something runs to you, run past it, and so it's not the best for, good for little groups that can't move that far. Right, so now we move on to the next one, which is the Ashen of War for the dry leaf, so the dry leaf whirlwind. So ancient ruins of Row. Just here, not too far away from the East Ruins race. You can follow this round to the back. Up here. And then within this area here, by this campfire, you'll find the Ashen of War. So the next one we'll be looking at is the dagger itself, Smith Script dagger. So you can get that from this Ruin Forge lava intake. So the way you get to it is down these stairs, take a right, down this ladder, take a right, watch out for these lava things. It can fall on your head and be quite nasty. we take a left through here. And then we get to this nice big open room. What we want to do is drop down to this one. Drop down to the stairs. Take a run up here. What I like to do is just drop down it. Through the bottom here. There should be a lava thing right to your here. Make sure you take this one out. And then important when fighting these golems that around the back is their weak spot. Right, and then the dagger will be located here. This person here. This is where you can get that. Right, so if we take a look at getting the Smith Script shield, this one is a little bit more difficult. So up in this corner, in the Ruins Forge of this one, you can only access this one by going from this ancient ruin base, which you have to drop down here, go under, and then you get yourself to here. Follow this route up, which then gets you to the forge. So once we reach the forge, we're going to enter. Follow the stairs down, take a right. Quite annoying to lock onto sometimes. Alright, take the stairs down here, drop down, take a right, jump over, run at the top. You want to take a right and jump across. Right, so there's two golems in here. One can summon these red lava tier things, like he's paying one back there. Ooh, nice little friends. Lure them out. Alright, so get rid of all these. The range on the dagger is amazing. Blow this numpty off. Down here, hello. Alright. Feels better for this. Stuck. Right. Of course I did. I was about to kill it as well. Oh, anyway, at the top there, against the wall is where the item is. If I wasn't so rubbish at the game, I would have shown you. So the next part of the build is the incantation seal of the dry leaf seal. So from this location, you see that graveyard up there. What you want to do is get your way up to that graveyard. Alright, once you make your way up to this graveyard, you'll see a message stone here from the game, which is telling you to drop down. Once you drop down here, you'll find the leaf on one of these ledges down on the side here. Drop down a bit further, and you'll find it on these ledges over here. So yeah, that's where all the main equipment is. Your weapons, your fans, all of the above. I'll show you a bit more gameplay of this build, not just me being rubbish. More enemies in here. Have a look. Let's go and have a little fight at the back here. What I like about a shield is that you can throw it in quick succession. There's one of them. I really enjoy the feel of this. Build with the way the hand-to-hand combat works, and the whirlwind Ashen of War really makes me feel like I'm Sanji from One Piece. Just the kicking element to it. Really enjoy it. It would be a very unique and hard way to do a new game plus with, because it would take a lot of time to get perfect at it. But within a lot of time and a lot of learning the basics of each skill and the way they're used, there's probably a couple of other spells that I haven't really seen or got yet, due to not doing another run through yet. But this is the build that I've managed to build so far. Like I said, it's different. I quite enjoy playing with it. Have a go, see if you can make it better. The next build I am in the middle of making, and will be doing my next video on, is called the Inner Beast build, and that mainly is a Bestial Incantations with the new DLC Beast bear kind of communal incantation, and the bear claws as well. So yeah, I will be putting all the specs within the description of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you could drop a like or a subscription, that would be fantastic. Really appreciate it.
Hey.
I'll see you later. Hopefully you follow.